Okay, now as part of the annual agency review, this is the business operations review where I always recommend to just incorporate some business planning and goal setting for the new year. I mean, you're getting together anyway with some of the most critical people in the company. You might as well take some time to have some discussions about what you'd like to accomplish next year and what sort of finances you're going to need to get there, what admin changes that you're going to want to make, what growth areas that you're going to want to look into, and how are you going to want to operate the agency. I've seen a number of different business planning tools over the years, and they can get pretty extensive with the types of forms. I've seen multiple tabbed spreadsheets. And when I came to business planning, I really tried to boil it down to, what are the key indicators that happened this year? What goals did we have for this year? How did we do? And what goals do we want to accomplish for next year? And then just have that discussion with your key team players and keep it simple and say, hey, what did we do well this year? Well, revenue was up, number of clients was up, and what did we do poorly? Poorly was caregiver turnover. Poorly was the ability to recruit new caregivers and things like that. And that should really just lead you into a discussion of some goals that you want to set. And for goals for an overall agency, any more than 3 goals, really, you really sort of diversify your time and your energy if you get more than those 3. And so I've always tried to simplify it to 3 or fewer goals, sometimes 1, sometimes 2 did the trick. That allows you to focus on those things overall as an agency. And so for this business planning tool that we have here, it's pretty straightforward. But if you get the most important people in the room, have some discussions with some key indicators on here, you should be able to have the opportunity to get to the goals that you want to achieve for next year. So at the top of this page, the first thing that we are going to do is just to review the goals that we had for the agency for this current year. So we would have set those at this time last year, and they would have been what the goals were, when we wanted to get them done, and likely who was responsible for getting them done. So that's how we kick off the business planning section to say, hey, we wanted to increase our client number of active clients by 12%. We wanted to redevelop our onboarding process for caregivers to shorten the amount of time from when they contact the agency to getting them an orientation. We wanted to increase our revenue by 7% for this year. We look at things like that, those goals, and then we have a discussion with some key metrics and say, hey, did we make it or did we not? And that should really naturally flow into what we want to accomplish for next year. But first, starting the foundation of what did we do for last year and how do we perform. Next, looking at clients, we want to compare year over year to how many clients did we serve for the entire year, how many client hours did we have for an entire year, and then how many clients on average did we have a month, how many client hours do we have per month, total admissions for the year, average admissions for each month, total discharges for the year, total discharges per month. These are some high-level key indicators of growth or opportunity for growth for a home care company. Next is employees. How many total staff members did we have? If you break it down into full-time equivalents, full-time is 40 hours, half-time is 20 hours in a given week. What did we have for total actual staff and what was our budget? Then we look at some risk areas. Did we have any employee incidents for last year, any work comp cases? So that can flow into, goal setting for this year. Are those areas of concern? Does it affect our insurance rates, our premiums that we have to pay for insurance, for safety, and also what does our work comp cost containment look like? So that's where risk comes in. And then last, it looks like we have clients on there twice. but the goals that we're looking for this coming year. So out of some discussion, you know, by this time in the annual review, we've had, we're talking about quality management plan, emergency preparedness, overall agency operations, and we've looked at some key performance indicators. Now we're looking at what do we want to complete for the next year and being specific as possible. So if we look at, revenue or turnover or increasing client hours or implementing a marketing campaign software or customer retention management software or something that has overall impact to the agency. What are the goals? When are we going to get it done? And then who's responsible for doing it? So that's just a brief overview of the goal setting process. Again, I don't think you need an overall lengthy business planning tool. I think you need some of the key performance indicators and data in front of you. You need to know how you did this year, how you're performing in your goals, and then taking the time really to set 1, 2, or 3 goals max on how you're going to move the needle in the new year.